This social distancing time, as I'm sure it has for you as well, been a complete roller coaster ride of emotions for me. I've been up and down, left and right, trying to work out how to best pull myself through this time, and sometimes it's felt great and I've been thriving and I thought it's been better than my life before, and other times it's been horrible and I've felt, really down and really missed my freedom, etc. And it can change like that. It can change on the click of a finger how you're feeling. What I have learned from this time is a huge amount about what is important to me and how I want to live my life going forward in this new normal time. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down some really important, valuable life lessons that have come from this time and things that I think will change the way I'm living my life when things do eventually get back to normal. And I'm going to give you some very actionable steps so that you can apply these thoughts and philosophies in your own life if they sound like something that would be useful to you. And in order to do that, I'm going to run you firstly through what my day used to look like at the beginning of quarantine versus what it looks like now. At the beginning of quarantine, this is roughly what my day would look like. I'd set my alarm for a certain time and then put it on snooze and sleep for another 20 minutes to half an hour. And then when I was ready, I would start looking at my phone for another 20 minutes, maybe looking at the news, Instagram, whatever. And then when I felt ready, I'd go for a shower, I'd get myself ready. And by that point, it was pretty much time to start my work, at which point I would work, check my phone, work, maybe look out the window, work, check my phone, work, check my phone, and then when work was done, I would stop working. At the end of the day, I might have time, if I had enough energy, to fit in some of the stuff that I actually wanted to do, whether that's releasing a YouTube video, whether that's doing a bit of Spanish, whether that's doing a bit of exercise, and I'd probably end the day watching Netflix. Now, there's nothing terrible about this day. Maybe you see things in your own life that you do as well, but one thing I will say about this day is that it is highly reactive. The fact that I'm not getting out of bed when my alarm goes off, the fact that I haven't planned the things that I'm going to do in that day, the fact that I constantly and obsessively am checking my phone was making me feel run down and making me feel like I wasn't achieving a huge amount. So let's run through what my day looks like now. But just before we do, quick pause on the video. If you're a current subscriber to Beyond the Blackboard, welcome back. If you're new, hi, I'm Ran. I run this channel called Beyond the Blackboard that helps you live your best life at GCSE and A-level. So we go through some lifestyle stuff like this and self-improvement stuff like this video, but we also look at the news to help you guys navigate how this crazy education system is unwrapping, as well as some study advice as well from my teaching experience in the past. So if that sounds useful, please do hit that subscribe button and share with anybody who it would be useful for, and give the video a cheeky like. Also, any suggestions for the type of content you would like to see, please do comment below. This is what my new improved day looks like now. I wake up and immediately get out of bed when I hear my alarm. I get ready and then I meditate. I then plan my day in terms of work and the things that I would like to do, nourishing activities that I am going to enjoy and look forward to in my day. Importantly, throughout this process, I do not check my phone. I then can take my time with whatever I want to do, have my breakfast, do some Spanish because I got up earlier. Then I sit down and go to work. But as I'm working, I block my phone for at least 25 minutes while I'm working so I can fully focus on what I'm doing. I also make sure to have a break roughly every 25 to 40 minutes. I then do one of those nourishing activities that I scheduled earlier, whether that's talking in Spanish with someone from around the world, whether that's filming my YouTube videos, whether that's catching up with a friend that I really want to. I then go into a planned exercise regime, and at the end of the day I have zero guilt because I know that I've achieved what I wanted to, and then I might watch Netflix, or I just got an Xbox so I'm going to game maybe, or I'm going to read some Spanish graphic novels which I'm really into right now. Now these 2 days aren't totally different, they're not worlds apart. But at the end of the day of day number 1 in the past, I would feel drained and kind of unaccomplished. Whereas day number 2, I feel like I've got a lot more energy and I feel like I've achieved something. So what is it that I'm doing differently in these days that I'm going to take forward, hopefully for the rest of my life? There are 3 main learnings that I've taken. Number 1 is the importance of training your brain to be less reactive. Now, your brain is essentially this big organic plastic ball that can constantly change and is highly affected by the daily actions and habits that you do. And just like a muscle, going to the gym and getting swole, you can train your brain to act and be a certain way as well. So during this time, I've essentially started doing different daily habits that I see as the gym version for my brain. So the big example that you probably noticed in my original day 1 at the beginning of quarantine was how obsessed I was with checking my phone. And this was such a big one for me as well, because obviously I would text my friends and look on Instagram as usual, but also having this YouTube channel, I'm kind of addicted to watching the subscriber count grow and constantly replying to comments, and it can leave me really run down and distracting me from what I really need to be doing at that point in time. And studies have shown a clear link between phone usage or over phone usage and depression and other similar problems with the brain, like initiating certain stress-fear responses in your brain that shuts down certain parts of your brain as well, and makes you feel, for me, it makes me feel kind of a bit all over the place and directionless. So 2 things I've changed in my daily routine is, firstly, don't check my phone for the first 45 minutes after I get up. And secondly, get an app called Flora or a similar app like it that essentially, for certain amounts of time that you can preset, and I block my phone for 25 minutes to 40 minutes so I can fully focus on the work at hand. And if you're currently studying for GCSEs and A-levels or catching up with your schoolwork, I think this would be a massive one for you, because studies have shown that if you get distracted by your phone, even when you come back to it, it takes 20 minutes or so for your brain to fully focus back on what you're doing. The second way I'm training my brain is morning routine. And it doesn't have to be crazy, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. My morning routine is literally getting out of bed straight away, making my bed, getting myself groomed and ready, and then meditating. Really simple. But having an automated response when you first get out of bed starts your day in the right way and get your brain in the right place to achieve what you want to achieve. Point number 2 is ignoring FOMO. Now, I am a massive FOMOer, especially beforehand. I would constantly have the fear of missing out. And if I was with a couple of mates, I would be thinking about a party that was going on the other side of London, thinking that those guys were having a much better time. And I didn't realise how bad it was until this massive global level happened of social distancing and corona, etc. Because for the first time in my life, I could fully say nothing in the entire world was happening that was better than what I was doing right there and then. Even though on the surface of things, sometimes I was doing quite boring things, I knew everyone else was in the same boat. There was no crazy party anywhere that I could be jealous of being at. And what FOMO did for me essentially was to stop me enjoying what I was doing right then and there, whether it's seeing a friend or whether it's working or literally anything that I was doing. So if you suffer from FOMO like me, these are some things you can do. Firstly, have less social media, because social media gives you a skewed version of what other people's life is like. It makes it look more fun and glamorous, but in reality, people don't put the boring stuff on social media, do they? But it still makes your brain think, oh, those guys are doing so much cool stuff, and just makes you feel a little bit worse about yourself and have less gratitude for what you're doing at that time. Another one for me is meditation. Meditation just starts your day right, clears your head, and again makes you more present in what you're doing and worrying less about what's going off somewhere else. And number 3, which links into point 1 and 2, is plan your day. Go into your day with a sense of purpose. Put in things in your day that you are going to find nourishing and fun, essentially. Things that you are going to look forward to. You might have 6 hours of revision that you need to do that day. But if you make every single day about that revision, about that thing that you have to do but you don't really want to, if you make every day like that, it's going to wear you down and it's going to make you stop enjoying life. So put at least one thing, carve out an hour for something that you are really going to enjoy. And by scheduling it, you start to look forward to it. Now, in my case, the things I really enjoy and find nourishing in my life are learning Spanish and doing this YouTube channel. But for you, it can be anything. If you really enjoy Xbox, put that in. If you want to paint, if you want to learn how to rap, if you want to learn how to dance, whatever it is, make sure that you set aside time, because if you don't carve out time to do these things that you love and nourish you, then the important, boring stuff, for instance studying, will start to overtake your life. It will always be a priority, and in the end, it will drag you down. So what can you do to make sure you have these nourishing activities in your life? Make sure you spend 10 minutes a day planning your day, scheduling what it is that you want to do and going into it with purpose. I personally think the best way for you guys to do this is through a scheduling app called Adapt, which I constantly mention on this channel because I honestly think it's a fantastic tool for you guys. And then you can plan exactly what revision or study you need to do, and then let's say at 1 p.m. you can carve out an hour of time to do a nourishing activity, and then 5 p.m. you can carve it out and you schedule it, you look forward to it, and it's going to be a great day. Alright guys, I hope this video has been useful. It's been a little bit of a different one, but if you found this useful, please do subscribe, like and share with anyone who would find it useful. Also, going forward, we're about to come to the summer holidays, so I'd love to hear from you guys what kind of content would be most useful for you. So far on this channel, it's really been split up into 3 categories, which is study advice, breaking down news reports about what's happening with the new education system and Corona, etc., and self-development. So what would be most useful over the summer holiday? I have a few ideas, and definitely when those autumn results come out, I'm going to be doing a lot of revision and study tips to help you guys out. But for the next 6 weeks, what would be really useful for you to hear? As I say, I can draw from my science teacher background, I can draw from my life experience, my travel experience, anything from the 28 years on my earth. So do let me know what you would like to hear, because at the end of the day, this channel is for you guys. Until next time, see you later.